Back for the work week. It's time to round up a big story from the week. A Texas Court of Appeals judge has released a statement calling for the death penalty to be abolished. Justice Tom Price says the state's life without parole law makes the punishment unnecessary. Price added that the possibility of executing a wrongfully convicted person is a, quote, irrational risk that shouldn't be tolerated. His comments come after the court rejected an appeal on behalf of Scott Panetti, who suffers from schizophrenia and is scheduled to be executed this week. So does life without parole adequately protect society the same way? And is there an increased risk of the wrongfully convicted being executed? That's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page and Twitter. Be sure to use the hashtag Fox26forlife. Joining us live in the newsroom is our Roundup panel, led by Fox 26 legal analyst Chris Tritico. Chris, were you surprised by the judge's strongly worded opinion, said to be the first one ever by a sitting high court judge?
Well, the first one ever in Texas. And yes, I was surprised that he would come out the way he did and so strongly opposed to the death penalty. Those of us who have tried capital murder cases and have had clients executed know exactly what he's talking about. And key to this decision is that since life without parole has been enacted in Texas, the number of death sentences has come down. Texas leads the nation in exonerations of people on death row. Just in the last couple of years, two very high-profile reversals of death penalty cases based on one on DNA and one on the fact that the prosecutor lied and hid exculpatory evidence, leading to an exoneration of a man who had two death dates. And so what the justice is saying here is this imperfect system can lead to the execution of an innocent person, and because of that, we shouldn't do it anymore. Justice Harry Blackburn, almost over 20 years ago, said in an opinion on the U.S. Supreme Court, "I shall no longer tinker with the machination of death." And because of those, he had the same view as this justice. I don't know that it's going to make any big changes, but it's a big day for capital litigation in Texas. Let me introduce Mustafa Tamiz, our political analyst, Jackie Bally, our public policy analyst. Mustafa, we'll start with you. We've been talking about the death penalty here off camera all morning. This is a very big decision. I don't know that it's going to have any impact in Texas in the long run, but it's a very big decision.
It's a big decision. It's an important conversation because in Texas, we've recently, you talked about the two exonerations, but we've also seen that we don't know what kind of medicine is used. We've seen botched attempts towards execution where people were in severe pain. These are the kinds of things that make you think twice. And I'm an advocate of death penalty. I think it has a place in our justice system. But we have to pause at this point and see if we can figure this out before we continue down this track.
The justice ruled that life without parole adequately protects society from someone getting out and recommitting.
It doesn't. Studies have shown that those who are on death row, they've saved approximately 3 to 18 other lives because of things that they could have committed, either through parole or escaping.
Right, but if life without parole, you're never going to get out.
Or escaping, and that's what the studies are showing. And the fact that we do have capital punishment, that is a deterrent for some people who feel they may commit a crime, but they know that they could be caught and be put on death row. That is a deterrent. And these studies are based on, capital, your income, and other factors. So no, that's not correct. And that's why you have these studies showing it's not correct. You're also taking away from the judicial system. It's overburdened, overwhelmed. And whenever you do some things like these, and whenever you have the people on death row, you're actually helping taxpayers' dollars as well.
I disagree with that. You have far more money spent on appeals of death penalty cases than you do on life without parole.
Actually, when you read the Washington Post, they disagree with you.
They're wrong.
But no, I'm sure you can go back with the author. I'm just quoting what the Washington Post said. So anyway, I do believe that that we do have the death penalty for a reason, and I disagree with the justice and what he said.
If life without parole adequately takes care of the concerns that Jackie raises, takes on what Jackie's saying, then why do we need the death penalty anymore?
I think that we have to take a pause right now because at this point in our history, we've been unable to do it the right way. We've seen botched attempts at executions. We're seeing multiple things come up to the exonerations that you have identified that we know of. We don't know how many else are out there.
Yeah. We have many steps to with the advanced technology, DNA testing, and many steps in place, if a mistake has been made, we can catch it in future steps.
Well, but
so
Anthony
the
Graves-
actual, in recent times, actually prosecuting or killing someone, not prosecuting, but actually killing someone who is wrongfully in recent times, you're not going to see those cases often.
Well, no, but very quickly, because we're almost out of time, that Texas may have executed an innocent man, and the Forensic Science Commission was about to open a investigation of that, and Rick Perry changed the director of it and killed the investigation
Well, I'm
determine
not saying that mistakes may have been made in the past, but I'm saying with technology as up to date as it is now, with DNA testing as up to date as it is now, it is close to impossible to be punishing and killing the wrong person.
Anthony Graves spent 25 years on death row, had 2 death dates before one lawyer took it up and proved that he was innocent and the prosecutor had lied.
And that is one lawyer committing his life to trying to wrong and injustice. There's so many that never even get looked at.
We're going to leave it right there. Sally, we'll be back next week wrapping up the hottest stories of the week.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Have a great Sunday.